Hello everyone, I'm Riyadul Khan. Today I'm going to answer at least 5 questions for the CSS milestone, and here I have got 15 questions. The first one is, what is a flex layout? Difference between flex and grid layout. Flex layout is introduced to align several elements and distribute the space between them in a container. Actually, what it means that if you have suppose 5 elements or 6 elements, any number of elements, they will align automatically if you define the flex, and those uh, those elements will take place one after another, which is called alignment, and they will share the distance among them, and this is the idea of flex layout. And what is the difference between flex and grid? uh, they they have some common features. They work almost similar way, but flex is used for one dimension. uh, it could be only row or column wise, but grid, it allows you to align the multi-dimension data or in a container. Suppose it will structure the data in horizontal, in column, and in row. Actually, it's design. Actually, it's going to structure you. It's gonna structure the data in row and in column in two-dimensional. Explain the next question is, what is a box model and what are the different elements of a box model? Actually, every elements of a HTML, it actually represents a rectangular boxes actually. And there are box model consists of if I am not wrong, there are 4 elements. One is content, margin, borders, and padding. Four Content is the main area of the box model, and then the margin, and then the border, and finally the padding will take place. Actually, it has that's it. Okay, let me explain few more. Actually, it's a height and width, as it's a horizontal, as it's a rectangular box. So sometimes it does require to increase the margin or the padding or the border. Actually, sometimes it confuses the developer, but if you study box model, then you will understand better. What is the hover effect and what is the purpose of the active class? Actually, hover effect, it will allow you to change the style or change the shape or transform any HTML element whenever you hover over on a specific elements. And what is the active class? Actually, active class is a special kind of active class is a dynamic class. Is you can compare it. It is a small kind of programming that whenever a user click on a button or click on a button uh, upon click on a button the page will give some feedback. Suppose someone click on a button, and it will, if a alert or a pop-up box is executed, the user will understand that this area is working. Otherwise, user will be confused whether this button is work or not. This is why active class is so helpful to create better user experience. What are the different types of selectors in CSS? Actually, there are several types of selectors: element, ID selector, class selector, universe selector, group selector. What is CSS specificity? Specificity. Actually, it's a very interesting terms. CSS specificity. CSS specificity refers that, suppose you have a one element which has more than one CSS style. Suppose it has more than one, I mean more than two, it could be three. Suppose it has more than three CSS style. Which one will get priority? In CSS, this is why the specificity has come into picture. Specificity actually determines the priority. So there are several types. There are 4 categories which actually determine the level of the actually is the hierarchy, and with the first one is priority is the first one. Inline style will get the most priority. Then the ID will get the priority. Then the class will get the priority. Pseudo classes, attributes, and finally element, which is actually get the priority. So actually specificity actually determine the level of the hierarchy. I think I make you understand. Actually, now my question is, what is a CSS preprocessor? A CSS preprocessor refers to a program that allows you to generate CSS from the preprocessor's own syntax. Actually, it adds some extra feature which is not that don't exist in pure CSS. However, actually, I'm not sure about this. I will talk to you. I will explain this later in another video. Come to the next question. Difference between transition and transform. Transform actually it will change the one state to another state of any element, and transition is making that transform smooth and gentle. This is the difference. Transform is change, it will change from one state to another state. Actually, it's modify or move the appearance of an element. But to make this transform smooth, seamless, and gentle, then we use transition. How will you use media queries to make a website responsive? Actually, media queries was introduced to make the screen responsive. Uh, Early in the days, we actually designed only for the PC, but nowadays, after getting so much popularity, we have to design for several devices such as mobile and tab to make a responsive screen. Actually, we use a special query which is media queries, and it is start with at media only screen and max with 480 pixel. Actually, we write two media queries. One is for mobile, another is for tablet screen. And this is how within media queries block we can override our default style. This is how actually we make the media responsive our website. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope the next video will be good enough to explain my explanation. Thanks.